Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video I am going to show you how you can create surveys and forms using the when a HTTP request is received connector. I use this connector a lot and you can use it for all kinds of things. So this is going to be sort of a series of videos that I'm going to do about how you can use this connector to really do some fun things. So I'm going to start by just showing you what we're going to make. Because you're probably thinking, I can do this in Microsoft Forms, why do I need to do it in Power Automate? So there's a bunch of reasons. The first reason is just because it's cool. The second reason is because Microsoft Forms is a bit limited in some of the things it can do in terms of validation and the options that the forms can give you. And this is completely done in Power Automate. So let's just have a look, first of all, at what I have done. We've got a survey here about Power Platform, so I'm just going to fill this out but with some slightly incorrect details just so you can see it work. So my email address, paulie@takitelic.net. Twitter handle is paulie_m. My YouTube channel, I don't actually know, there we go, YouTube channel. How easy is Power Platform to work with? Let's go 8, and my favorite Power Platform product is Power Automate. So let's also make an error in this. So if I complete this now, it'll say please enter a valid email address. So we've got email address validation. And we've also got URL validation. So I'm missing a T there. So I put HTTPS and correct it. And that is now the form complete. So if I go over to my list, we should see it appear in here. So let's just get into it and see how this works. It's very, very easy to do. I'm just going to build it from scratch and build a new list and build a flow that puts this data into a list. So let's go to here, my flows, and I'll create a new instant cloud flow. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is when a HTTP, let's just search for HTTP. When a HTTP request is received, this is premium, so if you don't have Power Automate Premium, this will not work for you. So the next step I'm going to do is create I've got a HTML file. I'm going to use this HTML table, this HTML file in Visual Studio Code as my editor. So the only thing I'm going to change in here is change this to a get. And then I've got my blank HTML file here. I'm going to do get file content using path, OneDrive for Business. I'm going to point it at that file. And we got that new survey.html. And then I'm going to do a response action. And that is all fine. So then instead of building this HTML myself, I'm just do a quick Google HTML boilerplate with jQuery. There we go. So we take that, paste it in here. Let's do Control K, Control Left, format it a bit better. This is an old version of jQuery, so we'll get rid of that and we'll search for jQuery CDN Cloudflare, and we'll just take this latest one, copy that URL and paste it into here. Okay, so now we've got a nice blank bit of HTML to work with. And we'll change the title to Power Platform Survey. Alright, let's save that. So we saved our new survey.html. So if we go back to our flow, we can look at the URL and copy it. So if we paste that in, first thing we will see is, well, nothing actually. because I didn't put the get file content using path in the response. So the contents of our file will go into the body. If we run that again, the HTML has come through, but it hasn't come through as HTML, it's just come out as plain text. So we need to go back to our flow, change the headers. So we're going to say content-type, it's going to be text/HTML. So if we save that now and rerun it, we will get the HTML output to the browser. So this isn't very exciting at the moment. Let's get rid of that text that says this is my HTML boilerplate, and then start to build our survey. So I'm using survey.js, which is a completely JavaScript powered, or rather jQuery powered survey creator. So let's go into the creator, and then we need to do a new one, because this is the, so we're going to create a new survey. Right, so we've got a completely blank survey at the moment, so we're going to add a single question onto it. First question is, what is your email address? And then this is the name of the question here, which is important because this is what comes through in the JSON eventually. So I'm just going to change that to be called email. So I'm going to say is required, validation, add email. Okay, so I did that wrong this time. So if we say complete, it will say please answer the question, and then it'll ask me for a valid email. Okay, so we know we're good for that. And this is what the survey would return if we were further through the process. So I forgot what fields we had before. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, Twitter handle. So let's add another. This is going to be a single input as well. And we'll call this one. Okay. So we'll call this Twitter ID, and it's not required. So we'll just leave that as it is. Let's see our next one. What is your YouTube channel? Okay, so this is an interesting one. So again, this is going to be a single input. And say, is your, we'll name this YouTube. And then this time, this is something that people that use Microsoft Forms have been after for a long time. Go to validation, and we'll add a new validation. We'll say regex. And the regular expression I've got around here somewhere. It's here. This is the regex for a URL. And then we'll say, please enter a valid URL. But we'll make it also not required. And then this, how easy do you find Power Platform to work with? So for this one, I'm going to choose a ranking. No, that's not the right one. I don't like that one. Let's get rid of that. I wanted a rating. Give this a name. And then we'll give it a description as well. And we'll say 1, very difficult, 10, very easy. And then we'll say minimum rate 1, maximum rate 10. We'll set that to required as well. And then the last one was these nice picture ones. So let's go and add those on. and this is an image picker. So we'll put this down here and we'll say, is your favorite Power Platform product? I'm no expert in this Survey.js, by the way. I only started using it, I don't know, yesterday. So it's pretty easy. So we'll go to our choices, and the first one here we've got is lion, giraffe, etc. So we'll change this to power. These are the values that are going to come through, so we'll make them without spaces, and then we'll put the text in as power automate. We need to provide an image. You can either upload an image and it will encode it as base64, or you can provide a link. I'm going to do a link. Let's go Power Automate first. And then we'll say Power BI. Hello?
Your lunch is ready.
Okay, just been told my lunch is ready, so we'll carry on this video after the lunch. See you in a minute. Right, where were we? Looks like we are replacing the Power BI image of a giraffe to this one. Then we'll go for Power Virtual Agents. In case it's not clear, this column is the value that's going to come through when we submit, and this is the text that shows. And now let's do Power Apps. And let's get that logo there. Okay, so we've now got our, is that the whole form? Yeah. Okay, let's just change the properties of this page. We'll call it New Power Platform Survey. So we know which one's which. And we'll also have title. And we'll have a bit of branding on it as well. Put a logo in. That's my logo there for my blog. Stick that in. And that'll do us, I think. So that's enough of a demo of that. So if we go to Embed Survey, they provide the links to everything you need. So let's have a look here at this top section. Go back to our HTML, our new survey HTML. So we need to get these style sheets in, and their jQuery, their JavaScript rather. So you can host these on your own site, or you can just load it from theirs. But that's what you need to make the form work. And then we just need a div to contain. So I'm going to move these script tags out of here. Put them down there. So we've got our div to contain the survey. And then we need the actual JavaScript to make it run. I'm going to put that in document.ready. Okay, so essentially the whole survey content is contained within this survey JSON. So once we want to make updates, we can just do that. Send data to server, we're going to use that in a minute. Okay, so let's just save this for a second and then go back to our HTML5 boilerplate and refresh it. nothing will happen. So I think we've probably got a HTML error in there. Yeah. That's better. I was loading the survey JavaScript before jQuery. So now we've got our survey built, but it's not going to submit to Power Automate yet. So what we need to do, we've got our survey that creates the, renders the survey to the end user, but we need another one. Say, we'll create a new one called survey results new. When a HTTP request is received, and this is going to be a post method. So I'm just going to, at the moment, I'm just going to put a compose in. I'm going to put the body of when a HTTP request is received. And then I'm going to do a response. And I'm just going to say 200 OK for that. And that will give us a URL that we can work with. So here's the URL of our HTTP server that's going to collect the results. I'm just going to paste that down here for a second. So we've got survey send result, something along those lines. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to just do a console.log as well, so we'll see what that does in a second. And then I'm going to use the URL that we just generated here. Okay, so what's going to happen is when this survey is complete, it's going to log to the JavaScript console what the results are. And then it's going to do an AJAX request to our new HTTPS connector, post it as JSON, and that's it. So if I save that again now, and go to this, go back to our Power Platform survey, I'm just going to reload this page. So let's try it out. No idea, I'm just going to leave that for now. Power Automate and 10. Right, so it says the survey is complete. Let's just have a look at the JavaScript console. Okay, don't worry about this error. This is just failing to load favicon. But we can see the results are, there's the JSON of what was transmitted. It did get sent to Power Automate. So if we go to survey results new and look at the run history, we can see it ran 29 seconds ago. Let's go in and have a look at this compose. There we go. There is our result. And from this point on, it really is just the same as any regular flow. So if we go to lists, we do a new list, blank list, survey results new. And let's do that. And we'll go create. Right. Because I think most of you know how to create a record in a SharePoint list, I'm not going to do every field. I'm just going to get the email address and put it in the title, because that'll make for a boring video. So if I edit this now, add an action, let's say create item, survey results new, and then we will say outputs compose email, save. So if I test this, Clearly the response action isn't going to work, but if I go to this new list, we should see that email address comes straight through from the form. So this is quite a powerful way to use the HTTP connector, effectively to use Power Automate as a web server. Now, one thing that I would change about this is if we go back to this survey demo and edit it, I'm currently using get file content using path, but in production I probably wouldn't do that. I would use that to set it up because it makes it much easier being able to edit it inside a proper editor instead of this editor in Power Automate. So I would just now get this, copy it, paste it into there, get rid of this, and then use the response as the output of the compose. I'm just going to rename this because the get file content using path will just be just a touch slower than having a compose there that's static. So if we go back to here, let's get rid of that debug window and refresh it, you can see that it still works. Let's put in a different email address. I'm not going to bother with these. And that's it. That should come through into this list any second. Here we go, test.techitelic.net. One of the things I just noticed on this form, no, this is the non-demo version. Here is I didn't put the values, the names of the products underneath. So if I edit this survey, and it'll just show you how easy it is to go back and edit it. So go to this one, choices. There is a, and I did have show label switched on, so it should have done that. Let's just double check. Let's go back to embed survey. Maybe I had an old one there. I really just need to get this var survey JSON line. If I go back to my run history, now you see here, because I've put it in this compose, I can't easily just modify it as I could when it was in Visual Studio Code, but there's the line. So if I paste that in there, save it, hopefully, yeah, the labels are there now. And so you can see how easy that is to do. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can generate a HTML table on the basis of what has been put into here. But the other nice thing, so you could serve this without Power Automate, but you need Power Automate for the receiving of the data. But if you did serve this via Power Automate, there are other things you could do with it in this compose action. Sorry, this one. So for example, when we get down to the body, I'm going to modify it in Visual Studio. When we get down to the body, we could have something like this, and then find that piece. Hello, the time is. So we could put dynamic content in here, and we could say expression UTC now. Now, UTC now is just a demonstration. For example, there's our text that we've just added in. You could put in something more meaningful, like how many other people have filled in this form or any other information you wanted to display. But I'm going to show you in the next video how we can bring out the results of these questions and publish them on the following page once it's been submitted, or just provide a link directly to them. But there's a lot you can do. See how you get on, try it out, let me know in the comments if it was useful. Cheers, bye bye.